Hi, it's Mr. Canada, and welcome back. We're looking at finding bearings again, this time without measuring, where it's just purely based on calculations where you're given, right? This is mostly what you're going to see with bearings, is where you're going to be given some angle that's not quite in bearing format, and they're going to have, okay, find it. So, find the bearing of B from A. So we're looking at A. Notice, first thing I drew was my north line, okay? Sometimes you'll be given it in coordinate form, but if not, if you just have, say, you draw a line up and you have your north line, right? And you have some B down here, right? Then they're just going to tell you, okay, well, they can tell you from east to B, it's 50 degrees, right? Measure it. So that's when it doesn't look like it's on a grid and you'll have to build it up. But to begin with, I've given the north line, so we're just trying to find this angle. So we're writing B from A. An easier way to think about bearings, though, is to switch this around. So instead of B from A, let's talk about A to B, because this is really what we're doing. We want the angle from A to B. So starting at north, A to B is that angle. Okay? Because B from A, it's just, you're talking almost in a reverse direction, but it's still saying the exact same thing, just harder to visualize. So, that means from this north line, we want to find how we get to B. Well, we're going to have to use a little stuff we know about angles, because we know that we have a 90-degree angle between north and east, right? So here, that's 90 degrees. So we can go 90 plus this 50 degrees we have, and we can find our entire angle that we're looking for. Our bearing is 140 degrees. Okay. Next one, we're given this 48 degrees, but we want bearing of B from A. So remember, we want A to B. And if we're at A and we're going to go to B, we were looking for this part in red. So here, we know that that's a right angle. This part right here is a right angle in green. So if I actually say 90 degrees to that right angle, and then I'm going to subtract off, well, that little part we have in black of 48 degrees, right? So that'll give us our missing chunk. So our missing chunk in red, the angle for our bearing is going to be 90 minus 48, which is 42 degrees, right? So because 50 and 40 is 90. So we're not quite done though. Keep in mind, 3-digit, so 042, or sometimes 042 degrees. Okay. Let's do example 3. So finding the bearing of B from A. So that means, once again, we're doing this part in red. So we know if we want to go the entire way, right? If we go an entire half circle, that's 180, right? So if we just want to take away that little part in black, just like we did last time, because we know that south is 180, and we do minus off 30 degrees, and we find out our bearing will be 150 degrees. Right? So we're just using little properties of our compass point bearings, or just properties of angles. Okay, so here we're looking B from A again, so we're starting at north, going all the way around up to our line. So we know if we go from north to west, that is this part from north, oops, sorry about that, from north in green all the way to west, that is 270 degrees. And then we're simply going to add on that 40 degrees that we have there. And we'll get our total bearing angle as 310 degrees. So very similarly, this time we're going to actually calculate these angles rather than just do it from measuring. lots of you may have already done this calculation at home based on this. So pause the video. Once you're ready, press play, and we'll go over the answers. Okay, so going through the answers. So here we are just looking for this angle. So we're just going to be 0, 5, 5. Right. Next, we're looking for this angle. So it is 90 minus 55. So we get 45, or 0, 4, 0, 4, 5. Next, we're looking at this entire angle. So we have this 90 plus 55, and we get 1, 4, 5. Okay. Moving on, we're looking for that same angle. Now we're doing 180, and we're minusing off that 55. So we're going to find we have 125 again. And we're just going to keep going, carrying this on. So what do we know? We know up to there is 180. And then we're adding on the last little bit of our thing, which is 55. And so we're going to get 235. And then lastly, well, we know that we can do 360. We can actually take away, because this is a full circle there, we can take away this little angle and be given that last little bit that we want. So the actual part that we want is there, and that's 360 minus 55, which is 305. Okay, so see you in the next video.